Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live from Wantagh High School. It's the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week. Wantagh, Garden City, set to match up. Travis Quigley and Ellis Joshua here to take you through this one. Ellis, should be a really, really exciting game here.
Yeah, Travis, this should definitely be an exciting game. These are two teams that have high aspirations this season of winning state championships in their respective classes, Wantagh in Class C and Garden City in Class B. So this should be a very high level and well-played game here this evening.
We'll turn things over to the public address for the playing of the national anthem, announcement of starting lineups, and we'll get right into this one in just a little bit.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Wantagh High School. Please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you.
Anthem's been played. We're almost ready to go here. Again, Travis Quigley and Ellis Joshua on the call. The LILJ Buoy Game of the Week. An LILJ, LISN collaboration. Ellis, two sides have had very strong starts to the season. Wantagh still a donut in their record, 3-0. They've been led so far by Dylan and Luke Martini, 14 and 12 goals respectively. Talk about their games and the success that they've had so far.
Yeah, Travis, the Martini brothers of Dylan and Luke, expect their name to be said a lot during this broadcast if Wantagh is going to look to come away with the win. This is definitely a prolific offense, and really Dylan Martini, the senior committed to Army, he's kind of the quarterback of this offense, really kind of doing a good job of getting everyone involved, also being a lethal scorer. So expect a lot of production for the Martinis in this game if they're looking to come away victorious.
And on the other side for the Trojans, matching the pace so far of Dylan Martini with 14 goals himself, Charlie Coaster. He's had a really strong start to the season. I'm sure, like you said, we're going to be saying his name a lot today as well, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So Charlie Coaster, the junior, committed to Lehigh for Garden City. Again, kind of like Wantagh, look for their heavy hitters to really be involved and getting this offense going. And Charlie Coster off to a great start offensively for the Trojans, so look for him to be extremely productive for GC in this game.
Should be an extremely exciting matchup here today. A little bit overcast weather this evening as we get set for the opening face-off between these two sides. Garden City in the patented maroon uniforms, Wantagh in the home whites. Wantagh going left to right to start this one. Garden City right to left on your screens. Whistle goes and we're ready here And Cascadin tried to kick it back. It's Wantagh who possessed right away. Ball bouncing around, trying to step out and retrieve the GB. It's still kicking around, now up in the air. Who's going to find it? Wantagh will possess. It's Joe Nicholson who moved the rock, and now the Warriors will kick it around the horn.
And interesting, Travis, Wantagh winning that opening faceoff after a lengthy battle there for the ground ball. This is going to be a huge key for Wantagh because Garden City, they are just so strong at the faceoff X with Luke Cascadin. So Wantagh being able to win these faceoffs early on in this game could end up going a long way for them in this game.
Yeah, Cascadin's been one of the top face-off men so far in the early going of this campaign as Wantagh continue to possess. 22 seconds remain on the shot clock. Martini kicks it around behind. Now a sidearm shot goes through Joe Nicholson, missed the cage. Possession will stay with Wantagh.
So a nice look there by Devin Pacchione, setting up Nicholson. The shot just off the mark going high. So you said it, Travis. 16 seconds left on the shot clock for Wantagh on this possession.
Luke Martini out from behind, moves it across. Pacchione up top. Another shot that goes right to Martini. It's Luke. Slows it down. 2 seconds. Has to move it out front. And it's going to expire on him, the shot clock. 10:35 here in the first. Possession now goes to Garden City.
So a couple of opportunities there for Wantagh to get on the board. But Garden City's defense holding up, not even allowing a shot on cage there. And so this is a nice job by GC, able to clear the ball up to their offense for their first offensive possession of the game.
And Ellis, they always say defense leads to offense, and Garden City doing a good job closing up the middle of the field there, keeping everything on the outside of those hash marks. As now, like you said, they work into their first offensive set. What can they do with it? Possessing the ball right now, Robertiello cuts back. Coming over to the near side of the field, it's Coster. Defended very tightly right now. He'll have to move the rock.
Nice job by Nicholson with that on-ball defense. A short stick matchup, but GC unable to take advantage there.
Massara spins back, long pole, Perfetti covering him. It's Coster. Winds, fires, he scores! Hot start here for the Trojans. Charlie Coster keeping up the immaculate pace that he's been on. His 15th goal of the season, Ellis.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're looking for if you're Garden City. You get your heavy hitters involved early in this game, and it starts off with Charlie Coster just letting one rip right there for goal number 15 on the season in what is the 5th game for GC. So Charlie Coster striking first for the Trojans.
Now how will Wantagh respond? 9:27 left in the first. 1-0 for Garden City. So now, ready to go back. Second face-off of the game. And Cascadin wins this one. Very clean, Ellis.
Yeah, that's been a huge key for Garden City and their success early in this season as that ball hits the deck. Oh, but that is a great play there. Getting that one back is Blake Cascadin, the twin brother of face-off specialist Luke Cascadin. So nice job by Blake. What could have been a turnover for GC. He keeps that possession alive for the Trojans.
Yeah, phenomenal recovery right there. And now another offensive possession here for GC. With Robertiello, he'll go outside, right at the 20. Waiting for some pressure in an ISO right now. Gets the sprint to the cage, passes it behind, stepping out, firing, save made. GB scooped up, a spin move, and now looking to get it out. Dankenbrink knocked away from him, bumped to the ground, ball goes out. We get a whistle from the official.
Yes, so they're going to say there was a push there on Wantagh, giving this one back to Garden City.
Robertiello winds, fires, just missed. Stays with the Trojans. DeBrashere behind, gets the restart going. Comes way up top. A fake. Asara to the left side. Now a shot and a snipe home. Braden Robertiello. Third of the season, 2-0 for GC.
And that was an emphatic finish right there by the sophomore, Braden Robertiello, coming in with the high heat. And he was certainly fired up after that one. And Robertiello, another name on this Garden City team where you can expect to hear his name said a lot during this broadcast if GC is going to be successful on the offensive end. Already making a big impact here in this first quarter.
And Ellis, he's usually the assist man. He's leading his team so far in assists and gets on the board with the big goal there to make it 2-0.
Yeah, we actually covered Garden City, Travis, not too long ago, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, against the Ward Melville Patriots. And that was definitely a strong suit for Robertiello in that matchup. He was 2-4 in that game, 2 goals, but 4 assists for GC.
The draw was initially controlled by Lucas Skadden. Turnover was forced, though, and here come the Warriors. They get back into an offensive set after giving up 2. Alone in front. Unable to get a shot initially. Now that one denied right there. Big stop by Schlipf. And now he takes possession, looking for a clear.
Great save there on the doorstep by Schlipf, keeping Wantagh off the board. Now it's GC looking to come out in transition, but Wantagh going to make Garden City settle in here on offense.
Strong start initially for Wantagh, Ellis. They won the initial face-off to start this game. They had a nice offensive possession, couldn't capitalize. It's been GC since, though.
Yeah, and Garden City's defense is always a strong suit. Coach Fennell and the Garden City coaching staff, they always take a lot of pride in their defense. Always one of the best defensive teams on the island.
Comes all the way around near side. Coster keeps the ball moving. Trojans quick passing. Now a bounce shot. Big save there. Gianni Passaro had to drop down to the knee but keeps it out.
So Passaro with the save there for Wantagh. Definitely a timely save in this one. You don't want to fall behind by too many goals early on in this matchup. So that's a big save by Passaro. And now we'll see if Wantagh can use that save on one end as some momentum on the offensive end.
Under 6:30 to go. Just about half of the first has been played. It's with Nicholson. Patiently now. Rolls left. Pass across to the right side. Firing! Unable to score there. Giacobello, another big save from Schlipf. The clear from Garden City. It's on the ground. Scooped up with the GB. Good eye there. Tracking that down. Will Matisse.
Yeah, and that shot there from distance by Giacobello. Schlipf able to make that save. So another nice defensive stance for GC.
Both goalies have made a couple saves in the early going now. Feeling the rock a little bit. Garden City, another offensive possession here. 30 on the shot clock. Coster, far side. You hear the GC bench letting the players on the field know. Coster's shot took a deflection. Might have hit a stick on the way.
Yeah, definitely hit a stick of a Wantagh defenseman. But Garden City, they'll keep possession, but only 20 now on the shot clock.
On the ground, scooped up, and here come the Warriors. Patrick Forthofer.
Great GB by Pat Forthofer, the sophomore. Nice job with the ground ball and the clear to now set up another offensive possession for the Warriors.
And they're just going to slow things down here, Ellis. They want to get into their set. They want to run their play. Sometimes it's nice on the counterattack when you have numbers, but sometimes it's better just to slow it down and play it at your pace. And we see the Warriors doing that here.
Yeah, definitely. It's about quality of shots in this game. And Wantagh, they've had a couple opportunities early in this first quarter, but got to give credit to Jake Schlipf. able to make those saves needed to keep them off the board.
That one went through. Maybe getting a piece of it in front was Declan Wooked. Stays with the Warriors. 21 seconds on the shot clock. 4:30 here in the first. 2-0 for Garden City. Wantagh looking for their first of the game here.
Shot clock now is getting late for the Warriors. Down to 10 seconds. Possession with Nicholson.
Through the middle, just a sea of Trojan defenders in there. And they'll take possession looking for a clear.
Oh, that's a great handle there for Garden City.
Now down low, right in front of the crease, unable to get a shot off on the ground. Another GB scooped up for Carter Loffman. 2 defenders off, and Loffman knocked away. Back with it was Blake Cascadin, moves it quickly. The long pole midi on the ground once more. Wantagh doing a good job of trying to force turnovers here, knocking balls free.
Big GB, though, by James DeBuscher, number 27. So he saves this possession for Garden City, and now a flag is down, our first here of the game. So this is going to set up a free play for Garden City.
Yeah, Robertiello's just going to slow this before moving it to Asaro. Now Asaro will switch places with Owen Anderson. Holds on to the rock before giving it to Owen. He said free play here for Garden City, so they're going to make sure they execute this one right. Comes across out front. Coster just misses.
Oh, he was looking for the quick stick finish right there. Great look inside, but just unable to catch and finish in one motion.
So it's in behind on the restart here.
So the flag was for a slash on Wantagh. So this is going to be a 1-minute man up for Garden City. So the slash looked like it was assessed to Pat Forthoffer. So he's called for that flag, and now it's GC looking to capitalize on their man-up offense.
Working it around. Up top. Back to Coster, to the goal line. Shot just misses. Goes out. Stays with GC. Ben Smith will reset things. Smith. Up top once more. Now in behind the cage. Back with Coster. Coster, a little give and go with Robertiello. Quick ball movement. Now a shot, a save. Rebound, They score!
The scoop and score for Garden City.
Chase Krause.
Yup. Right place, right time for Krause. And getting those rebounds, if you're a goalie, it's always tough. It's a good job of making that initial save by Pissarro. But the ball bouncing off of him, and Chase Krause, he was there to be the beneficiary and give Garden City the 3-0 lead.
Been a great first here for the Trojans, Ellis.
Yeah, this is definitely the start that you want to see if you're Garden City. You get off to an early 3-0 lead in the first quarter. And so far this season, Garden City, they are definitely used to playing out in front. And when they get a lead, it is hard to come back against that defense. But of course, this Wantagh offense, very explosive. So still a lot to be decided, of course, as we are still in the first quarter with now 2:25 remaining.
And off the restart, stays with the Trojans. Outside of that first face-off, Ellis, it's pretty much all been Luke Cascadin inside that circle.
Yeah, he's had the advantage these last few face-offs. And that initial face-off, the first one of the game, actually went off the referee's foot as well. So a little bit helpful there for Wantagh. But since then, it's been Cascadin in control.
He's definitely been showing why he's one of the top face-off specialists, not just in Nassau, but on Long Island. And the pass there, intercepted, great read. And now off to the races is Nicholson. Nicholson does a good job staying right on the edge of the sideline. Now just a bounce pass across for Pacione.
Yeah, tremendous play there by Joe Nicholson. coming up with that caused turnover. And that's a big stop for Wantagh. You get a stop there, hold Garden City, keeping them at 3 right now. And now still looking to break the seal are the Warriors on offense.
Loftman dishes it over. Now out front, shot, they score! On the board, Luke Martini, 3-1.
The little Martini, Luke Martini, the freshman, with that goal, just what Wantagh needed. And on that assist was Devin Pacione. And Wantagh, they break the seal here in the first quarter to get on the board. Just a great feed by Pacione, certainly one of his strengths. The junior committed to Villanova, and he was able to find Martini there for the finish right in front of the cage.
Big goal right there, 3-1, 1:12 to go. Another face-off here. This one, a battle. We get a whistle immediately, and it's going to go to Wantagh.
So a chance to build on this momentum for Wantagh, getting a goal and now being awarded the ensuing face-off. A chance to get within 1 with just over a minute remaining in the first.
It's the goal scorer, Luke Martini, who starts it up, moved it to Nicholson. Now off down low. Giacobello slows it. Pass to the middle. Underhand, backhand try. They score. What a beauty from Joe Nicholson.
You can add that to the highlight reel if you're Joe Nicholson. What a finish as we take another look at this one. And the assist on there is Matt Giacobello. But Nicholson with the twisting finish down low. And that is back-to-back goals for the Warriors to make this a 3-2 game.
That was a beauty, Ellis. Wantagh with a phenomenal response. They go down 3-0. They score 2 quick ones late in the first here. 3-2 with 50 seconds remaining. Cascadin, another face-off win.
And so the shot clock now off. So Garden City, if they'd like, they can play for the final possession here of the first quarter.
We'll see what the offense comes up with here. 25 to go. Coster with the fake. Takes a check before kicking it over. Robertiello rolls up top. Bacon right now back left. It's Robertiello to Coster with 10. Coster shoots, misses, foot race, and it stays with the Trojans. 9 seconds to go. Back in it. It's to Coster out front. Off the ground. GB hits the iron and soars out of bounds to end the first. Would have been a massive goal right there for GC at the end, Ellis.
Kraus getting the pipe there as the buzzer sounded. So Wantagh keeping Garden City off the board there in that final possession. So it is a 3-2 game after the first quarter. But Travis, so far, I say this game has definitely lived up to the expectations and the hype. Both teams getting after it. Well played first quarter by both teams. And a 1-goal lead for GC heading into quarter number 2.
So we'll take a quick pause here. As Ellis just said, 1-goal lead, 3-2 for Garden City over Wantagh. You're watching the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week, presented by the LI Sports Network. Coming back for quarter two. 3-2 the score. Garden City over Wantagh. Teams will flip sides and we get it going once again. Cascadin once again controls the faceoff. Immediate pressure on him. Turnover force. Ball back on the ground and controlled by the Warriors.
So just a bit of a bobble there by Cascadin on that faceoff. Unable to ever secure that ball cleanly. And so Wantagh coming up with the ground ball and a chance to make it 3 unanswered goals and tie up the score.
And now working it around the Warriors. Comes across Loftman. A little fake there. Stays on the outside. Looking to spin back middle. Pressured tightly by Ruck. Across. Possessed. Giacobello. Around. Right side. Cutting back middle. Sidearm shot just misses. Carter Loftman. A lot of heat behind that one.
Definitely plenty of heat on that shot. And so Passion there for the backup, and now 15 on the shot clock for Wantagh.
Passion, nice move. Cuts around the cage, looking for a shot. Save made. And pushed back at it was Loftman. Didn't get it to go. Ball did go out of bounds. It'll stay with the Warriors. Shot clock resets.
The stop there by Schlip. But another possession here for the Warriors. That ball on the second bounce nearly went in, but stayed outside for GC, and now they'll remain on defense.
And Ellis, if you're Wantagh, this is the perfect opportunity to start this second quarter. You couldn't ask for much more as a spinning shot there missed. And Garden City will win the foot race.
And a huge credit to Blake Cascadin winning the chase for possession. And this is going back the other way, so Garden City will look to clear up to their offense. Possession starting with Owen Wukta.
As this game continues to progress, the rain continues to come down a bit harder. 3-2 the score in the second quarter. Travis Quigley and Ellis Joshua here for the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week.
So GC doing a successful job of clearing. Ball's now back on offense. Looking to increase their lead.
And this is the first offensive set for GC here in this quarter, as Wantagh pretty much held possession for a minute and 40 seconds before the Trojans could really have any opportunity to clear. Now they're working it around. A shot from Coster misses. Back there for the Trojans was Braden Robertiello, so it'll stay with GC. Play starts back up again. Comes to Coster. Coster off to the left side. That one once more goes flying over the head of Pissarro.
And I think if you're Garden City, you definitely got to like the shots that you're getting here on this offensive possession, but unable to connect on cage. So now we're winding down to 20 on the shot clock.
You hear the bench yell, 20. Smith back to the middle. And another one bounces low but wide. And Wantagh will now take possession. Great job on defense there from the Warriors.
The Warriors hold up on defense, and Luke Perfetti, number 11, winning the chase for possession. And now it's Pat Forthoff looking to get it up to the offense, and he does just that, getting it up to Giacobello.
Again, Wantagh opportunity to tie this game up. 9 minutes left in the first half. Tossed up top, Dylan Martini. Nicholson, a spin move. Had a pick to his right, didn't use it. Passion, back for Nicholson to the middle. Martini can't get the shot off. Recovers nicely, though. Still has possession. It's Luke, off for Dylan. Down low, Passion rolls out, shoots, and scores! Devin Passion ties this game up at 3.
And Passion fired up after that goal. That makes it 3 straight for the Warriors going back to the first quarter. And he turns the corner and just pins that upper corner. And we have a brand new game.
You said it, Ellis. Great start in this quarter for the Wantagh Warriors, and it pays off for them. They benefit. They take advantage. Passione ties it up at 3 with 8:33 to go in this first half. Cascadin wins the faceoff. His percentage only going up so far in this one.
And this is a sport rather, as you know, Travis, where it is a game of runs. So now it's about, if you're Garden City, how do you respond after the 3 straight goals scored by the Warriors? And definitely winning that ensuing faceoff is a great way to start.
Coster, he's looking to get going here. Thought about a shot, decided to pass it low for Ben Smith, but missed his stick. It goes out of bounds, and Wantagh take possession back.
Yeah, tough turnover there for Garden City. Just an unforced error there with the pass a little bit awry. So now Wantagh, if they can get this ball up to their offense, which it looks like they can, they're now looking for their first lead of the game.
That was Luke Martini off the reset, just decided, you know what, I'm calling my own number here. Going for the clear myself. He's got it back again. We'll give it to his brother, Dylan. Dylan the fake. Down low, Passione. Warriors going to slow it down here. Giacobello. Left side, no shot. Passione with it now.
Nice handle there by Passione. Now he's going to operate from X and look to survey.
30 on the shot clock. The fake rolls out, just missing. Goes off the outside of the net there. Turnover forced. Pass to the front. Shot. They score! Giacobello and the Warriors take their first lead of the game.
Wantagh doing a tremendous job coming up with that loose ball as that one made its way into the stick of Martini. At Giacobello, he takes care of the rest. And that is 4 straight for the Warriors to take the lead here with 7:03 to go in the second quarter.
And that's just phenomenal pressure being applied right there, Ellis. To force that turnover and just a heads-up play all around.
Yeah, you said it, Travis. Heads up for certain. Nice job just not giving up there. And Martini coming up with that possession. And now it's Wantagh in front. And how about the yard sale? Great job by Nicholson. And this is going back the other way.
And now Nicholson, he slows it down. He started it on the defensive side of things. He has possession. Great job backtracking. Like Ellis said, the yard sale. So slowing it down. Wantagh with the 1-goal lead. 6:27 left in the first half. Carter Loftman. Left side, Loftman behind for Passione. A quick pass out front and a big save made. Jake Schlipp sticking out that left leg.
Big save is right, Travis. Definitely needing a stop there if you're Garden City. So Schlipp coming up with that save there, but possession will remain with the Warriors and a fresh shot clock to work with.
Loftman goes wide with it, stays with Wantagh. Passione will restart. Just a shade over 6 minutes to go. 4-3 game, LILJ Buoy game of the week. Around the horn, back with Loftman up top. Martini. Outside, fired, missed. That was Nicholson who let that one go. 39 on the shot clock. Warriors keep possession. Loftman in the middle. Retreats, trying to find an outlet. It's Luke Martini for Loftman. Now Nicholson. Great ball movement here. Fired by Giacobello. Another one. Seems like the Warriors are looking for the same spot of the net. And it keeps going out in the same spot, Ellis.
Yeah, they're definitely getting their shot opportunities here. And like you said, Travis, looking like they're trying to set up and operate from a particular spot on the field. But unable to cash in just yet on this possession. And now 7 to shoot.
Loffman, got to go quick here. He'll fire, big save.
Uh-oh.
Scoop back up, they score! Nicholson gets his second of the game, and it's 5-3 for the Warriors.
The scoop and the score by Joe Nicholson. And again, that's one of those situations where it's right place, right time. The initial save made by Schlip, but Nicholson, he is right there to get that rebound and bury it right in front of the cage. So you said it, Travis, his second of the game, and that is going to lead to a Garden City timeout, as that is 5 straight goals scored by the Warriors to take a 5-3 lead.
And Ellis, you got to give credit to Loffman there on the initial shot.
Yup.
Because he sails that thing over, he sails it wide.
Yeah, you're
they
looking
probably
at,
don't get another opportunity there.
Yeah, you're definitely looking at a shot clock violation there. So that's a great job just to get that shot on cage, to get the reset. And fortunately for the Warriors and Nicholson, he was right there for the easy scoop and score.
So 5-3 now. Garden City utilizing their first timeout here in the first half. Coaching staff, Coach Steve Fennell just trying to slow things down here. Bring the team together. Ellis, I presume, just try to get them to play back at their pace. That's kind of what they were doing in the first quarter that led to a lot of their success. They were playing the game at their pace, the speed that they wanted to be at.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think so far here in the second quarter, it's just they've spent a lot of time on the defensive end of the field. So it's like even when they were getting stops, they were unable to get the ball back and get it back to their offense. So the defense really having to exhaust themselves here in the first 7 minutes of the second quarter. So now for Garden City, coming out of the timeout, you're looking to win this face-off and get the ball back on offense and really just kind of stem the tide and stop the bleeding here.
Like you've mentioned it a couple times, Garden City known for their defensive prowess, but like you said, it's tough when you're continuously back on that defensive side of the field. You're not getting that break because the offense has had a bit of trouble in this second quarter getting going. We'll see if Cascading can win this one for Garden City and turn things around. He does. Now it's on the Trojans to get forward here. He'll play it all the way back for Schlip. Can the Warriors contain Garden City and keep their offensive output going? They've scored 5 unanswered. It's the Trojans with 4:44 to go. Again, slowing things down here, Ellis. Like I said, want to get back to their pace.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to take a quick shot here if you're Garden City, because as we just alluded to, they've spent a lot of time in this quarter on defense. But that's where the shot clock comes into play, Travis, because it's not like you can milk it as much as you want. You still have to play to the 60 seconds on the shot clock, which is now approaching 20 for GC on this possession. Oh, and that pass is thrown away.
The errant pass there. And Wantagh is going to take possession. Outside, Martini took a check. Tried to get it over to Passillon, who could not scoop it up. Went right over to Jake Schlip.
Oh, but
Garden
nice.
City unable to get the ball forward to clear. Turnover almost forced there, Ellis. We did get a whistle from the official. We'll see if we can hear what the word is.
So possession is going to be going back to Garden City here. Not quite sure exactly what the call was, but it's going to wind up being a free clear for GC.
Thought I heard something about interference with the goalie.
Okay.
So I believe that's what the word was there from the official. Why it's back with Garden City here. Nonetheless, Garden City's going to take it. They have offensive possession once again. A little over 3.5 to go. They're down by 2. They would definitely like to close that lead before halftime. It's Coster behind, defended by John Gendels. Closed off quickly was Coster. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Pushes one up top. Now it's Smith with it. Smith to the left side. Asara. Spin move now back to Asara. A fake. No shot lane. Has to move it Robertiello for Coster. Out
Great
front.
look.
Shot. Big save right there. Gianni Passaro.
Big time save there by Passaro. Shot clock winding down for GC. They got a quality look, but Passaro all over it. And Wantagh, a successful clear, and they are now back on offense, looking for more.
They've already got 5 unanswered. Can they make it 6 with 2.5 to go in the half? Loftman keeps it rolling. Left side. Passion now with the rock. To the middle. Shot. Big save Schliff. Off his stick and lands right with Giacobello.
Nice save there by Schlipp. But again, you see a lot of those saves. They're not resulting in Garden City getting the ball back. Wantagh doing a great job of tracking it. And the save gave them a fresh 60, and they take advantage. And it's Devin Passion with his second of the game. And that gives Wantagh a 6-3 edge. Just inside of 2 minutes remaining in the second.
And that's a great take right there, Ellis.
Yes, it is. So Passion, who has shown his distributing abilities this season, but now adding to the scoring column for Wantagh. And they have now doubled up GC in goals here in this first half.
Six unanswered for the Warriors here on their home turf. 6-3 they lead the Garden City Trojans. Another face-off won by Luke Cascadden, and they got to get their offense going here with $1:45 to go. Right side, Smith just misses. Extremely fine margins there. It'll stay with GC.
Yeah, and Garden City absolutely in need of a goal here to wind down this first half. Just to stem the tide if you're the Trojans.
Robertiello up top, it's Coster. Sidearm shot, he scores!
Just what the doctor ordered for Garden City. Charlie Coster coming up with a goal when they desperately needed one. And so that's his second of the game. And another assist for Robertiello. And so Garden City back within 2 at 6-4.
It's a big goal late here in the first half for Garden City. Now can they go on a bit of a run here of their own to end this first half?
Yeah, and again, if you're Garden City, you got to feel good at the face-off X. That definitely has not been a problem for them. So if you're GC, you get that 1 goal to cut it to 2. Now you have your sights set on winning this face-off and trying to score another one here with still 1:24 to go in the second quarter. And that's a good start with a clean face-off win for Cascadden.
He's been exceptional today, the face-off specialist. Coster, again, they just want to slow things down here. They have the time to do so. Final minute of the first half.
And, you know, as we say, this is a big opportunity for GC to get a late goal here. Also a big chance for Wantagh to keep that 2-goal lead going into halftime.
A stop here definitely helps with the momentum, and that's what the Warriors are looking for. GC want to pull within 1. Robertiello down low, spins, comes back out the far side. Up top to Coster with 30. He shoots, he scores! Hat trick Coster, 6-5 game.
Back-to-back for the Lehigh commit, Charlie Coster. And you said it, Travis. That gives him a hat trick here in this first half and really kind of looked nearly identical to the goal that he just scored moments ago. So from 6-3 to 6-5 with still 30 seconds left here. So whoever wins this face-off, you will definitely have a good opportunity to try and get a shot off here before we wind down this quarter.
We had 3 straight from Garden City to start this game, 6 straight from Wantagh, and now back-to-back from Charlie Coster with 30 seconds to go in the first half. And a clean win. Cascadin, almost like a hockey player, pulled that one back there.
Yeah, this time winning it backwards, but equally as effective. And so Garden City, they get it to their offense, and Coach Fennell, he's going to use his final timeout here of the first half to try to dial up a possession here where they can go into halftime with this game tied up.
And that would be definitely big for Garden City after the Warriors exploding offensively, scoring 6 straight, seeming like they were starting to take the game into their own hands and almost run away with it. Garden City have done a phenomenal job over the last few minutes, battling back. It came after that first timeout called by Coach. Now, like you said, going to utilize his second one here with 20 seconds to go. Try to draw up that perfect offensive play to tie this game before we head into the halftime break.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, Travis, this sport, of course, is a game of runs. And when you have 2 teams that are this high caliber and this talented, this is kind of what you can expect. You can expect both teams to kind of have their runs at different points in the game, but neither team is going to be fazed by facing a deficit. We saw Wantagh down 3-0, like you said, rattled off 6 straight. Garden City then falling behind by 3. They come back with 2 straight. So this is the type of game that you can expect when you're seeing 2 high-level teams going after it.
And Ellis mentioned it at the top of the show before we got things going. 2 teams with state championship aspirations. We've expected nothing less than what we've seen so far in this game. We're coming out of the timeout. 20 seconds on the clock. 6-5, Wantagh up over Garden City here in the first half. Can Garden City respond with a big goal and go to halftime with a tie game? Or can Wantagh keep that door closed? We get things going. Coming out of the timeout. It goes down low all the way around the horn, and the pass misses the stick of Robertiello all the way up to the 50. Scooped up the GB by Nicholson. 5 seconds. We get a stoppage here. We'll reset. And now Nicholson, he wants one last shot. He'll pass it quickly, looking for Loftman, getting a piece of it for Garden City. Was the long pole there. I believe it was Andrew Dengler. So that's how half will close. Ellis 6-5. Wantagh out in front. What do you think the message is for both these teams heading into the break?
Yeah, so I think we'll start with the home team with Wantagh as they enter the half with a 6-5 lead. And again, you got to feel good about where you're at going into halftime. Yes, you were up by 3. It's been cut to 1. But I think if you're Wantagh, you just have to stay the course going into quarter number 3. You got to like the shots that you've been getting in this first half. Also, too, they've had an opportunity to take advantage of those rebounds off of initial saves made by GC. But again, it really just starts with being able to get the ball to your quarterbacks. Passione, Martini, Giacabello. So it's really just about, again, being able to get the ball to your guys and really just taking advantage of those matchups when you see them. And then if you're Garden City, you kind of have to like where you're at too, right? Being down 6-3, now you make it a 6-5 game. And I think for them, it's just being able to secure those balls after those initial saves, because they've been able to get the first stops, but the rebounds have kind of cost them a couple of times here. So being able to finish out possessions by securing those ground balls, and then, of course, continuing what you're doing at the face-off X with Cascadin being very successful through the first 2 quarters of play.
Great analysis and insight. As always, he's Ellis Joshua. I'm Travis Quigley. Rowan Loddick and Wally Mitchell round out the rest of our crew here today. 6-5 to score, Wantagh over Garden City. We're going to take a quick break of our own. We'll be back in about 9 minutes or so with the second half of coverage. LILJ Buoy Game of the Week. We're coming back for the second half, Garden City and Wantagh. It's the Warriors who lead the Trojans by a score of 6-5. You're watching the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week, presented by the LI Sports Network. Travis Quigley and Ellis Joshua here on the call. Ellis was a phenomenal first half. I'm sure this second half is going to bring more fireworks.
Yeah, definitely expecting the second half to live up to the hype of the first half. And this has definitely been a well-played game thus far. So still a lot to be decided as we start the third quarter. And it's GC with the first offensive possession.
Quick pass, Coster, and Smith just could not possess it. So it'll go to Wantagh, all for naught on the initial face-off win from Luke Cascadin. Looked like GC was going to have a great opportunity off the get-go here. Instead, it's Wantagh who clear. Ball on the deck, and GB scooped up. It's Blake Cascadin. Trojans will slow things down here.
So far, a turnover each by both teams to open up this third quarter. So Garden City now going to look to be a little bit more deliberate with this offensive possession.
It's Coster just taking his time here. Ellis and I alluded to it a lot, spoke about it a lot during that first half. Garden City want to play this game at their pace, at their tempo. That's when they have the most success. Game full of runs here as Garden City looking to get the first run of the second half. Comes up top. Robertiello's shot. He just misses. Coster wins the foot race. It'll stay with the Trojans.
So that shot not on cage there. So now just 10 to shoot for GC as the ball's back with Coster and the GC sideline, letting him know of the short time. But this is going to wind up being a turnover. And the GB and the clear for the Warriors by Nicholson. Man, Joe Nicholson, he has made an imprint in a huge way, both offensively and defensively in this game for Wantagh.
Yeah, we've said his name a ton today so far, Ellis. And Wantagh, that's twice now where to start this second half, this third quarter, they make two very, very strong defensive stances. They have an opportunity now. This is going to be their first real offensive set. What can they do with it? Will they restore the two-goal advantage?
And this is definitely who you want with the ball if you're the Warriors, is Devin Passione. Oh, but that one is broken up. Getting in the mix there for GC was Asaro. And this one's still on the ground, and scooping it up is Jake Schlipp for Garden City.
Yeah, you saw Passione on that pass. On that pass there, he was looking for Nicholson, who was diving towards the back post. A push and a flag thrown in the air. See what the official word is here from our referee. But 9:27 left.
So the flag on the Warriors means that GC is going to be man up here.
22 or 25?
Looked like the foul.
They're all going out.
Looked like the penalty was assessed to Dylan Martini.
32.
So Dylan Martini.
Yeah. No. 32.
Or pardon me, Luke Martini. Player up advantage here for Garden City.
So the 32nd man up. A chance for GC to take advantage and even up the score once again.
Coster shoots, he misses. Was trying to pick that top corner. Ben Smith is there, and he'll restart things. 9:10 to go, third quarter. Going out front, Robertiello hits the post.
Oh, great job on just a slight hesitation, and then he made his move to Robertiello, just unable to finish with that goal. But the save by Pissarro, that's now a reset on the shot clock for GC.
And penalty over now. We go back to even. Garden City could not capitalize there. The one clean chance, Robertiello off the post. It's back with him now. Passes out front. Sidearm shot gets blocked. Shaking that one off. Look for Wantagh. I believe that was number 30, Patrick Forthofer. Comes across. Wantagh clear. And Passione. Quick burst of speed. Create some separation.
Got to give credit there to Chase Dankenbrink, number 26, who came up with that ground ball and then able to dump it off to Passione for the Warriors, who are now back on offense.
Wantagh will slow it. A little over 8 minutes left. Third quarter, and the Warriors lead on their home turf by a score of 6-5 over Garden City. A big-time Conference 1 matchup early on in the season. Two teams with aspirations for a state title. Martini passes it low. Great reception of that by Passione.
Big-time handle right there by Devin Passione, keeping this possession alive.
Loftman trying to spin middle. Up top, Nicholson, no shot lane. Now outside, Martini behind for Passione. Passione rolls out, shoots, and scores!
The high-to-low finish by Devin Passione with short time on the shot clock. And that is just great recognition of the short time as he turns the corner. And he buries that for his third of the game. And Wantagh now back in front by 2, leading 7-5.
That's a beautiful finish right there for Passione. As mentioned, the hat trick goal. On both sides, we got players with hat tricks here. Passione for Wantagh, Coster for Garden City. Back and forth we continue to go, but Wantagh restore that 2-goal advantage. It's 7-5 with 7:25 remaining in the third quarter. Cascadin controls another face-off, throws it all the way back for Schlipf. Trojans meandering up the field with the ball before finally circling it back. Robertiello, Garden City, will move into this offensive set here.
So now again, if you're Garden City, it's about how do you respond after giving up that goal moments ago. And they've definitely had some opportunities here. We mentioned a few moments ago, Travis, they were unable to cash in on a man-up opportunity. But looking to get back within one as that shot by Coster off the mark, but this will remain with Garden City.
And that was extremely quick there from Coster. He received the pass with his back to the goal and immediately turned and fired. Almost beat Pissarro. Now a chance. Robertiello defended very tightly by Luke Martini. He'll have to kick the rock over. Coster with 10 on the shot clock, shoots and misses. Bounces to Smith. Smith has 7. Robertiello, countdown to the shot clock. He goes wide. Foot race is won by Luke Perfetti. Warriors take possession.
So another defensive stance for the Warriors, holding up there, making Garden City use the entirety of the shot clock, but a tough turnover as Coster, he's got the GB. And now Coster going to slow this one down. The dish and the goal.
Great shot right there. Coster forces the turnover and the goal scored for the Trojans. It's 7-6.
So the finish there for GC by James DeBuscher. And you said it, Travis. Back to a 1-goal game. What a huge play there for Garden City, coming up with that caused turnover. And Coster to DeBuscher makes this a 1-goal game. So James DeBuscher, he is actually, in fact, Travis, he is the younger brother of a Chaminade alum now,
Where do you guys live?
Peter DeBuscher.
I'm from Hills. Yeah, I grew up there.
So we have
My grandma.
the DeBuschers making their presence felt in GC, as well as Chaminade.
Another yard sale there. And it's going to stay with Garden City. So the Trojans going to try to make a couple of quick subs here as they roll back into another offensive set. 5:47 in the third. Chase Kraus sprints onto the field as Coster rolls up top with the rock. Moves it over to Asaro. Asaro, big burst of speed, splits through three, shoots it over. What a chance there.
Oh man, Asaro, he definitely had his sights set on scoring a goal there, weaving his way through bodies, unable to bury that, but the ball remains with GC.
Asaro, he wants his third of the season. Bounces it across to Coster, but puts it over the head of the goalie Pissarro. Also put it over the head of Asaro. 35 on the shot clock. And off the restart, Asaro to Coster up top. Robertiello. A big shot there from Chase Kraus, misses. Really stepped into that one. Coster, after the whistle, goes up top. Off to the right side, shoots and scores! Ben Smith, and we're tied again. It's 7-all.
How about the freshman Ben Smith delivering in a huge spot for Garden City? As we take another look at this one, the step down lefty ripper, and that ties up the game. 7-all with 5:03 to go here in the third quarter.
And a great feed from Anthony Asaro, who gets the assist there. 7-7 the score with just about 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. A big-time goal right there for the Trojans.
Just some big plays being made by the underclassmen for GC. Asaro, the sophomore, with the assist, like you said, Travis, and the finish by the freshman Ben Smith. And it's going back to Garden City on the out-of-bounds call. So they'll start with possession, looking to jump back in front, as it started with Cascadin, and they'll redirect, get it to Schlipf, and look to clear up to their offense.
Is this the run that Garden City was looking for? They clear, and Robertiello stops up, kicks it over, and it's slowed down here for the Trojans offense. 7-7 the score with 4:30 to go in the third quarter. A nice move. Asaro shoots. That one was very, very close. It ends up going way out of bounds. Staying with GC, DeBuscher won that foot race. He'll start it up by passing it to Smith now. Ball gets worked around clockwise. Robertiello defended very tightly by Nicholson. Asaro will roll way back up top. Looking to get around Loftman. Now Asaro will shoot, but over the net.
Asaro, he is definitely getting his shot opportunities. He's liking what he's seeing, just unable to put one on cage just yet. Now, 20 seconds on the shot clock for Garden City.
Rain died down, but it's picking back up again here.
Oh, what a play. Great play there for the Warriors by Pat Forthoff for the sophomore.
Phenomenal play to intercept that right as the shot clock was winding down to about 10 for Garden City. Now Wantagh with an offensive chance here. As Ellis mentioned, Forthofer, unbelievable read right there. Now what can the Warriors do with it? As Martini moved it over and Loftman around. Martini, Passion. Ball continues to come around the field clockwise here. Luke Martini, now Loftman, he's got some space. A spin move back to the left side. No lane to the net, Passion dishes. Nicholson on the fake. Outside, trying to come back in. Across, no look pass. Loftman shot, big save made by Jake Schlipf.
Clutch save inside of 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter by Schlipf. And now Garden City as they redirect, and they do successfully clear up to their offense.
That's a great clear. Good job of switching the field, working east to west. You don't always have to play north to south. And Garden City just exemplified that there. Things get slowed down here as it's in the stick of Julian Galley. Kraus, far side of the field. Back to Galley. He's got to reach up one hand. He's able to still hold on to that pass. A beautiful fake outside. Robertiello scores! What a goal! And Garden City regain the lead.
Once again, another one of GC's underclassmen, the sophomore Braden Robertiello with his second of the game. And you can see him fired up, throwing his arms up in the air after that finish to give Garden City the 8-7 lead. Man, we've just seen some big-time plays by the underclassmen of Garden City here in this third quarter. Something that Coach Fennell and the GC sideline has to be pleased with. Gotta love to see them making big-time plays here in this game.
And Alice, you caught it at the beginning of the replay. It's just a quick, slight change of direction that generated enough space for Robertiello that allowed him to let that shot go, and the accuracy was unmatched. It was perfect. Trojans again. Luke Cascadin, if he's taking the face-off, they've got a pretty good chance of winning it. They've won a lot here in this one with $1:50 to go in the third quarter, and Garden City up 8-7. They possess here, 42 on the shot clock. The Sorrow, defended by Luke Perfetti. He'll move it to Coster. Coster with a hat trick in this one. Gets a return pass. Coster trying to get some space for himself. A bounce shot. He scores again. Coster, fourth of the game. 2-goal lead for the Trojans.
Number 4 for number 8 for Garden City, Charlie Coster. And he was able to take advantage of the short stick matchup there, matched up against Luke Martini. And just able to sneak by him to create an angle for himself to be able to bury that shot and give Garden City the 9-7 lead.
Big goal for Garden City. Late in the third here. A key face-off right now between the Trojans and the Warriors. And another one possessed by Cascadin. He'll throw it all the way back to Schlipf.
And this has been something that's been very effective for Garden City with Cascadin winning these face-offs, but working it back to his goalie. And the last few possessions, Garden City's done a good job of being able to clear up to their offense and still have plenty of time to work with. So another successful clear here for the Trojans. Now we're inside of a minute remaining here in the third quarter.
You saw Blake Cascadin there. Had the long pole earlier, switched over to the shorty, still getting work done for the Trojans. He now comes off the field. We've got 40 seconds to go. Shot clock, game clock, off by about a second here. So Garden City will have to get something off before time expires.
Yeah, so you can figure that they'll look to essentially play for the final shot here of the third quarter. But definitely have to feel good about where they're at right now. Down by 1 at the half.
A big response, Alice.
Absolutely. Now up by 2, closing in on the third.
Here comes Asaro. Asaro back outside, shoots, he missed, goes out of bounds. And with 3 seconds to go on the game clock, 1 second on the shot clock, Garden City's got to be quick here, and they'll just leave it, let the shot clock go. And 0.3 left. The official will just say, let it run. We'll go to 0. Head to the benches. We'll take a quick pause. We got the fourth quarter coming up. Ellis, Wantagh started really, really strong coming out of that halftime break. but it was Garden City in the back half of that third quarter, found their game again, and now they have the 2-goal lead.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's just how great teams respond. Again, Garden City, of course, they were not going to be rattled when they faced that 6-3 deficit, and they've now turned it into a 9-7 lead after 3. But Wantagh, now it's about how they respond opening up the fourth quarter. And like we talked about in the pregame, this is an explosive Wantagh offense. I got to cover them actually a couple weeks ago, Travis, against East Islip out in Suffolk County, and that is a very talented East Islip team that is also in contention in Suffolk. And Wantagh, they put up 16 goals against them. So they know that the offense is there. They know that they have it in them. It's just about how do you respond to start this fourth quarter. And I think the beginning of the fourth is going to be huge for the Warriors.
There's a saying in a lot of sports, Ellis, I don't know if this is true for lacrosse, but first minute and last minute, most important. And to me, that is the scenario here for Wantagh and Garden City. First minute of this fourth quarter, and then later on the last minute of this fourth quarter are going to be so crucial for these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think if you're Wantagh, of course, you're looking to come out here and try to win this opening face-off of the fourth quarter just to get yourself a possession and kind of stem the tide and stop the bleeding, because Garden City, they definitely had a dominant third quarter. And so if you're Wantagh, again, really it starts here at the face-off X.
Now, you obviously, lacrosse, your life, you cover this so much, you play the game. Now, you see somebody like Luke Cascadden who has had so much success. What do you do? What can you do to try to fend that off? What's the process here for the Warriors in trying to just find more success in that face-off circle?
Yeah, well, you know, it's tough, Travis, when you're going up against someone like Cascadden and you don't have one specific face-off guy on your team. Sometimes it's about throwing different looks just to try to change things up a bit, as they started here with this face-off with Pat Forthhofer taking it for Wantagh.
Definitely a different look.
Yup. Switching it up, going with a pole, but not to be, as it's still won by Cascadden to open up the fourth quarter.
So 2-goal lead for the Trojans, and they're going to look to continue to add to it as a big shot comes through, and it's Blake Cascadden. He scores 10-7.
So how about this? It's Luke Cascadden winning the opening faceoff for GC, and his twin brother Blake. He cashes in with the pole goal to give Garden City now a 10-7 lead early in the fourth quarter.
And he's about 17, 18 yards out when he lets that one go. He a lot behind that one. The bounce shot executed perfectly right there. And Blake Cascadden gets his second goal of this young season.
Yeah, and actually, I was on site for his first goal of the season out at Ward Melville.
He might be asking for you to come around a little bit more here, Ellis. Luke Cascadden pulls it back, and he just hockey swipes it to his goalie, Jake Schlipf. Comes across near side of the field. Great start in the first 40 seconds of the fourth quarter for Garden City. Again, they can just slow it down. Take their time working into this offensive possession. Far side of the field to Coster. He received the pass from Dan Mejdid. Back with Mejdid. To Coster. They just go back and forth a couple of times. 30 seconds on the shot clock. 10:40 to go in this game. And a 3-goal lead for Garden City.
And I feel like early on here in the fourth quarter, this is a must stop for Wantagh, because this would be the largest deficit of the game for the Warriors if they were to fall behind by 4 here. So a huge spot.
Big save right there. Coster with the underhanded shot. And Pissarro drops down, traps it. Officials coming together here after that whistle. See if we can get word on what the call is here.
So there's a flag on Wantagh, and the penalty has been assessed to Luke Martini.
Unnecessary roughness, Ellis. So 1 minute.
Yeah, and that's huge because Garden City, they get the ball right back. Now up a man for the next minute. So after getting that stop, did the Warriors, they will not get it back on offense here. Gonna have to play defense once again for at least another 60 seconds.
Playing or no?
Can Garden City take advantage on the man up? Comes down low. Smith looking to get away from Perfetti. Continuing to pass it around. Coster for Asaro. Back to Coster. Underhanded shot. Another big save. Pissarro 2 in a row on Coster.
A very timely save for Pissarro. Wantagh getting the stop that they needed. Now it's Nicholson looking to swim through defenders and looking to clear.
Beautiful job right there. Joe Nicholson gets through 3 defenders to get the clear. And now just 12 seconds left on the man-up opportunity before Martini returns. And Wantagh is going to be able to kill the rest of this time off.
And we do have a flag down on the field. So this is going to end up remaining with the Warriors here. And we have another flag down.
And Martini's back. So Wantagh, 30 seconds on the shot clock. Just going to hold this, look for the right opportunity before they get up on a man-up opportunity. Martini, bounce shot. He misses there, goes out of bounds. And now we'll get the word on what the flags were thrown for. 10-7, the LILJ Buoy game of the week.
So we have offsides. That was the call
30 seconds offside.
on Garden City, which will give Wantagh the 30-second man-up opportunity here. So the offsides was on Dan Medjid for GC. And so this is a golden opportunity, Travis, if you're the Warriors.
Ellis, it's always tough when you take the physical penalties, but the mental ones are the ones that sting a little bit more.
Yeah, those are the unforced errors that you don't want if you're GC looking to hold on to this lead, but still so much time in this fourth quarter. So it's about playing clean, crisp, and smart.
Phenomenal passing from the Warriors. Unable to capitalize and finish was Joe Nicholson as he's in search for his 3rd goal of the game. 10 left on the man up. Shot from Loftman misses there. Might have taken a deflection on the way to the net. 39 on the shot clock. Medjid returns in 8. Over to Martini. Loftman across, back post shot, they score! Hat-trick goal! Joe Nicholson, 10-8 the score.
And that is a huge goal for the Warriors to get back within 2. And it's Loftman with that assist. And can't leave Nicholson wide open like that. The easy find by Loftman, and Nicholson, he takes care of the rest. A huge goal for Wantagh to get back within 2.
Big time goal right there from a big time player, Joe Nicholson. We've been saying his name a lot today. Offensively, defensively, he's been doing it all. And now he's got 3 under his belt in this contest. 8:24 to go here in the LILJ Buoy game of the week. It's the game of the week for a reason, people. We knew these 2 teams were going to deliver.
Yeah, this game has definitely lived up to the anticipation for sure. And still a lot to be decided with just over 8 minutes remaining in the 4th.
Warriors trying to force a turnover. Instead, it's the Trojans who keep possession. Luke Cascadden will scoop up the GB, dish it off, and now he's sprinting over to the sideline as the Trojans look to make a couple of subs, working back into their offensive set. 7:45 here in the 4th quarter. Asaro gets the rock. Near side of the field. Full sprint down. Hits Smith. Coster. Good move. Shot goes right off the bar and out of bounds. Stays with the Trojans.
So they'll get the reset on the shot clock here. Big stop for Wantagh, but this will be a fresh 60 for GC. And this possession will start with Asaro.
The bars basically act as a goalie in a way.
And on the restart, fresh shot clock for GC to work with here. Robertiello. He's also on hat trick watch. Talked about him. He's primarily the assist man, but finding the back of the cage here today. He finds Asaro with that pass and a big stop. Gianni Passaro, ground ball scooped up and trying to circle out with it is Forthofer. We get a whistle. Timeout called by the Wantagh Warriors.
And that's a big sequence for the Warriors, being able to come up with that stop, secure that possession, and Coach Polo of Wantagh, knowing how valuable each possession is in a tightly contested game like this with just under 7 minutes to go in a 2-goal game, he's going to use one of his 2 timeouts here in the second half.
I'm a big fan of that timeout call, Ellis, because like you mentioned, possession was gained. You've a lot of pressure around Forthofer there, so you call that timeout to alleviate some space for him. You still got 1 timeout left in the fourth. You still got plenty of time on the clock, but you're right around the halfway point of the fourth quarter. So it gives you enough time where you're able to bring the team in, draw something up, calm them down maybe, remind them you still got a lot of lacrosse left. We're only down by 2. Plenty of time here.
100%, Travis. And, yeah, at this stage in the game, like if you're Wantagh, you just want to still remain within striking distance. So Passaro coming up with that save in a critical spot for the Warriors. And, again, like you said, them getting possession, the timeout, you definitely understand why they would use it in that spot. So now we come out of the timeout, and it's going to be Luke Perfetti starting with it for the Warriors.
And if the Warriors can get a quick clear here, as mentioned, still plenty of time in this game as the whistle goes, and it quickly goes from the left side of the field to the right. Now back over to Perfetti, just in front of us, over the line, cleared for Wantagh. Nicholson, most recent goal scorer for the Warriors, stops up right at the 10 and will slow, defended by Ruck. Passion looking for Nicholson. Pass behind him. Goes right over to Jake Schliff. And now GC. Opportunity to clear with 6:15 remaining. Right over the line successfully were the Trojans and Dan Mejdid. He'll throw it all the way back. Garden City. Again, just playing at their pace. There is a flag down on the far side of the field. So penalty coming up on the Warriors. 30 seconds. Looks like it's going to be an offside call. Just heard the instruction from the coaching staff. We're already off. Just go. Coster 2 on him. A great pass to find Smith there. Just 10 on the shot clock now. Asaro trying to get out right side, defended tight by Luke Martini. Now he gets to the middle. He shoots and he scores.
Anthony Asaro with short time on the shot clock. He ends up with that goal on the blow-by and the lefty finish. Great angle, great placement, and Asaro, who had definitely had his chances earlier on in this game, he does in fact find the back of the net.
Been saying it a lot. He wants that third of the season, and he finally gets it here with 5:16 to go in the fourth quarter. And for the first time since the first quarter, Garden City with that 3-goal lead. again. Well, pardon me. They had it earlier on, but they restore it once more since back in that first quarter where they held it for a couple of minutes. Wantagh exploded. We talked about it, scoring 6 straight. It's been back and forth, but this fourth quarter and late in the third, Garden City once again with their A game. Another face-off controlled, and they're back over the 50, coming in for some more offense.
Garden City showing a lot of poise there. Wantagh making it difficult on the ride for them to get it up to their offense. But they did, in fact, get it over in time. But now we have a flag down.
I believe Garden City were offside there. I only saw 2 maroon jerseys on the left side of the 50.
Yeah, and it looks like Coach Fennell, he's trying to get an explanation from our official.
.30 seconds for delay of game. So, big opportunity for Wantagh here. Obviously, only 30 seconds. But if they work quickly, they can make something happen. 4:38 to go, and it's 11-8 for the Trojans.
So it looks like the possession for Wantagh is going to start with Luke Martini, number 32.
Moves it quick to Loftman. Loftman over. Gio Cabello gets it back. Now Loftman. Left side, Martini. Loftman again. Down low, it's Nicholson. Back post, shot, they score! Great feed, and Luke Martini tucks it in. It's 11-9 with 4:17 to go.
And that is just what Wantagh needed. And Joe Nicholson dropping an absolute dime to Luke Martini. And he was there for the finish right in front of the cage to bring them back within 2. A timely goal for the Warriors with now 4:17 remaining in the fourth quarter.
3 goals for Nicholson, and now he tosses an apple over to Luke Martini, who makes no mistake. Great job by Luke finding some free area on the near side of the field, right on that back post. No defenders in sight. Cascadin controls another draw. Garden City will possess. Coaching staff looking for something here, looking for a call. Another offside on Wantagh. Noticed it immediately.
Yeah, that's where you can't have those mental mistakes, especially as we wind down here in this game and Wantagh facing that 2-goal deficit. Got to do everything you can to put yourself in a position to rally back here.
You and I, we said it just 6-7 minutes ago. It's the physical penalties, you understand sometimes. The mental ones are the ones that are tougher to get over and get past.
Yeah, because those are the ones where it's like, you know, you're kind of beating yourselves at that point. So it's nothing that the opposition is doing. It's just making those critical mistakes that are unforced. Those are the tough ones, like you said, Travis.
3 on the shot clock. Pass out front. Garden City won't get it off as Passion took possession. We know it's another offside call coming here on the Warriors. So offside, the call on the Warriors. We have 3:02 left here in the fourth quarter, and it's an 11-9 game. It's the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week.
And we should note that Joe Nicholson, he's got a pole in his hand now for Wantagh with them man down here.
Was an honorable All-American.
Good eye as always from Ellis Joshua. Martini comes back in 15 seconds. Garden City seem content here, just continuing to let time dwindle.
And like we talked about earlier, Travis, with the shot clock now, that it makes the game so much different now. If this game was played last year, you figure Garden City really going to look to eat away at this clock, but they can only do that for so long now with the shot clock here.
Really changes up the strategy for both sides. Like you said, if this was a year ago today, no shot clock, and Garden City likely just holding it down. Now you see with 10, Asaro beaming to the cage. He shoots, just misses. And the foot race is won by Luke Perfetti. 2:07 to go, and the Warriors are down by 2. Martini's back on the field as we come back to even. Clear for Wantagh.
And this one goes out of bounds. And Garden City, they're going to get this one back. A tremendous job on that ride. And it's out of bounds off of the Warriors. A big play there. Wantagh really in need of that offensive possession.
Yeah, that was the last thing that Wantagh needed at this stage of the game here, as Garden City have an opportunity to possess and hold and take this game to under a minute. 1:37 to go and a 2-goal lead. Robertiello back for Asaro. Asaro to the left side of the field, creates some space for himself, but again, wants to keep wasting time. Not going to drive it right at the net. Kicks it over to Coster. Coster holds with 30 on the shot clock. Coster spins right to the net. It's wide open, and he scores. Coster makes it 12-9.
A huge insurance goal with 1:09 remaining, and that is the 5th of the game for Charlie Coster. And he saw that net empty, and he said, I'll put this ball in the back of the net to give my team that 3-goal lead, winding down here in the 4th quarter.
You saw Pissarro was coming out. He was just trying to take away that pass and help out. And it was the quick burst of speed from Charlie Coster. A quick cut, saw the lane, saw the net open up like you said. I'm calling my own number here. I'm going to tuck this one home and try to put this game away. 1:09 left. 3-goal lead restored once again for Garden City. Another face-off one from Cascadon, who's knocked down. Ball came free, and it's kicked out of bounds. It'll go to Wantagh. Giacobello, final minute of this game. Can Wantagh find a goal or two here? Gotta move quickly. Passion behind the cage, trying to split through two, sandwiched between two Trojans. Loses the rock, and Schliff will scoop.
Wantagh still getting after it on the ride.
I was going to say down to the deck there went Owen Whoopty.
Yeah, but it looks like we're going to have a Garden City timeout here taken by Coach Fennell, just to make sure that nothing crazy happens in these final 29 seconds.
Just want to slow this down here. Remind the group, still a little bit of time left. Let's be secure. Let's stay within the structure, and let's lock this win down with 29.4 to go.
Yeah, you definitely just want to be smart here in these closing seconds of the game. So, good timeout taken by Coach Fennell. Of course, can't take it with him, so might as well take it here.
100%, 100%. And again, this has been a phenomenal contest between these two teams, going back and forth, both with goals of vying, fighting, battling potentially obtaining that state championship at the end of the season. And I think obviously still some time left here, Ellis, but this is a phenomenal benchmark game for each to know where they're at and where they need to go to achieve those dreams and aspirations of being state champs.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it, Travis. Definitely a benchmark game or a measuring stick game for both of these two teams because, like we said earlier, they have high aspirations of being crowned state champions at the end of the season. And, of course, they'll be on different paths come the playoffs with GC in Class B and Wantagh in Class C. But this is a great way to kind of see where you're at against those upper echelon and elite teams on the island. So a well-played game by both teams. Definitely expected it to be a tightly contested one for sure. So I think both teams do have to tip their hats, even though Wantagh looks like they may be closing out on a defeat here. We shall see in these final 30 seconds. But just a great game played by both teams, who have a lot to look forward to throughout the rest of the season.
Almost a turnover forced there by Giacobella. Wantagh going to try to get all over it, but a clear successful as Coster gets the pass with 12 to go. Coster just holding on to the rock. And the Garden City Trojans are going to come to Wantagh and pick up a big victory over the Warriors. 2 seconds left, so we'll get the restart here with Perfetti and let the time expire. But again, Garden City making the trip out to Wantagh, picking up a big 12-9 win over the Warriors. And Wantagh will fall to 3-1 now. Garden City bumping up to a 4-1 record, like Ellis and I just said. Measuring stick game, benchmark game for both of these sides to gain a better understanding of where they're at and where they need to get to achieve what their missions are respectively this season. But a phenomenal game, lived up to the billing. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Again, just a well-played game by both teams. Like we said, they have their sights set on bringing home some hardware at the end of the season. So Garden City, they come away with the victory here. And next up for them is Cold Spring Harbor coming up on the 15th of April. And for Wantagh, they'll look to bounce back as they'll be playing Massapequa also on the 15th.
So a big win for Garden City today, led by 5 goals from Charlie Coster. Luke Cascadin, a menace in that face-off circle. Jake Schlip making a couple of really key and big saves for these Trojans to pick up the victory. Sure, Wantagh is going to be bouncing back. They're a strong team. They had strong performances today, especially from Devin Passione and Joe Nicholson. Thought those two were phenomenal here in this one. And I'm sure these are two teams that, Ellis, like we've been saying, when we get towards the end of the season, they're going to be right there vying for some titles.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, a lot to look forward to for these two teams as the season progresses.
So that'll do it for our coverage of today's game. Once again, final score, Garden City 12, Wantagh 9. On behalf of our cameraman, Wally Mitchell, our producer, Rowan Lonick, and Ellis Joshua, I'm Travis Quigley. Hope you all have a great rest of your night. Hope you have a great weekend. And thank you for being part of today's broadcast, the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week, brought to you by the LI Sports Network.